Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyana Habib Ilahi Rabbil Alameen Abil Qasim al-Mustafa Muhammad wa alihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin al-ma'sumin al-mazlumin siyama baqiyat Allah al-azam baqiyat Allahu khayrun lakum in kuntum mu'minin wa la'natu ad-da'im ala a'da'ihim wa ghasibi huquqihim ومنكر فضائلهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال أبا عبد الله الحسين عليه السلام: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أثني على الله أحسن الثناء وأحمده على السراء والضراء. اللهم إني أحمدك على أن أكرمتنا بالنبوة وعلمتنا القرآن ووفقتنا في الدين. أما بعد فإني لا أعلم أصحابا أوفى ولا خيرا من أصحابي ولا أهل بيت أبرة ولا أوصل من أهل بيتي فجزاكم الله أني خير الجزاء. We are looking at the sermon of Imam Hussein alayhi salam on the eve of Ashura, on the 9th night, just before the day Imam Hussein and the companions were martyred. The purpose that we are delving into the investigation of this sermon is because we want to understand that how faith was reflected on the day of Ashura. Faith, Iman, reflected on that day to the highest degree, that we find that the degree or the command of the Imam was taken as the command of God to its maximum capacity. When Imam said to Abu al-Fazl Abbas, you are supposed to bring or fetch water for the children, that's what he was supposed to do. Although being a great warrior, a great fighter, but still he sacrificed this in order for the command of his master. The same way in relation to the companions of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, not just the family members, that they personified the perfect Iman that a human being could really achieve. So the plain of Ashura is the plain in which Iman reflected to its maximum capacity. Where was this Iman really rooted in? Where did it really stem out from? That's what we've been discussing for the past sessions. One of the sermons that one could really look into in order to understand the beauty of this Iman and the reason why this Iman was reflected is the very sermon of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, where he says that Uthniya ala Allahi ahsana thana. And we talked about the difference between thana and the difference between hamd. Wa ahmadahu ala sarrai. Sarrai, so he's saying, oh Allah, praise be to you, the best of praises. And wa ahmaduka, and I really thank you. Upon what? Thank you upon sarrai wa dharrai. Whether that I be in a state of joy, happiness, or whether I be in the state of stress, dharrai, difficulties. Allahumma, and this is where we are supposed to begin our discussion from. Allahumma inni ahmaduka. Once again, Imam Hussein alayhi salam says that ahmaduka, I really thank you for what? Ala an akramtana bin nabuwa. He's saying that we've been honored by what? We've been honored by the nabuwa, by the prophethood. On the eve of Ashura, he's been surrounded by the enemy. His family, women and children are surrounded by the enemy. They have planned and they have planned that they will massacre, that they will kill Imam Hussein alayhi salam with his companions, with his male family members, and he gonna leave the women and children alone. But look at the resolve. Look at the state of tranquility. Look at the way he's saying, that he's saying, Allahumma, O Lord, inni, I ahmaduka, I really thank you for what? Ala an akramtana. Nabuwa, the prophethood. Here Imam Hussein is saying that akramtana, we've been honored. We've been honored by the prophethood. See, karama, ikram and being honored is the reward in return to what a man act, and how a man sort of fulfill his responsibility towards his humanity, towards being a human being. Then eventually God honors it. And here he's saying that we've been honored bin nabuwa, by the prophethood. So meaning that when a person struggles and strives, and eventually when he is given that reward, that is called the karama. That is called, an honor being given to him, right? Karamat is very important thing in the Quran. Death to me is more honorable. Death to me is more honorable than a life under an oppressor, than living a life under a tyrant, basically, right? So the akramtana is a great honor given. And once again, this honor that is been given is based on the extent of an individual's struggle towards fulfilling the commandments of God, fulfilling the commandments of his fitra, of his pure fitra that he has. And usually, the reward of karamat is in a way where there is no, how shall I say, there is no second to it. It's extreme. For it is more than what a person have really acted. Like for example, if a child just recites one hamd, for example, and then you give him, I don't know, a new house, instead of just giving him a chocolate, right? So in return, what he's just recited hamd, but in return he got something great. This is what it's karam. Akramtana, it's an honor. Bin what? Bin nabuwa. Nabuwat, prophethood is one of the very unique phenomena. It is nabuwat by which tawheed, that precise tawheed, that immaculate, that unique and special message of God was sent by the Prophet in the Quran. So that's why he's saying that, if it was not for the Quran, the understanding and the ma'rifat of Tawheed will not be there. So Imam Hussein on the eve of Ashura is saying, what an honor that we've been honored with Nabuwat. He begins by saying, the very beginning of it, Uthniya alallahi ahsana thana. He's differentiating between the thana. As we said, thana is metaphysical. It contains, it encompasses the mulk, the malakut, the jabarut, the zat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is looking into, it is vertical. Thana of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, regardless of what. Hamd, as we said, it is in relation to the mulki aspect. I got something, I thank you on the worldly plane. That's why it says that, sarrai wa darrai, at the times of sorrow, at the times of happiness. See, so once again, it's indicating that. So now a person an individual who have that unique aspect and understanding of oneness of God, of unity of God, of that tawheed, will be able to differentiate that, will be able to speak like that. When he's speaking like that, he is speaking at a given time where he has few hours of his life left. Not only his life, his family members and his companions as well. Akramtana bin nabuwa. It is that nabuwat which made possible for insan to really reach kamalat, perfection. And wa allamtana bil Quran. What a resolve, what a great way of addressing his companions and family members. How much of iman a person must have, he speak in this fashion. He says, وَعَلَّمْتَنَا الْقُرْآنِ. You have taught us, the Quran. وَعَلَّمْتَنَا. You have provided us with that understanding. You have provided us with that understanding. See, on the side of the Ibn Ziyad and Yazid, they were reciters of the Quran as well. On this side as well, they were reciters of the Quran as well, right? Both sides, they were reciting of the Quran. But the recitation of the Quran of Imam Hussein and the Ashab were, and the recitation of those who have usurped the right, those who are the enemies of Ahl Bayt alayhim salam, even after knowing that the Wahi itself was revealed, as he mentions, and he reminds them, I could really show you where in our house the Wahi, the Quran itself used to be revealed, the places, right? He reminded them. They were ashab of the Prophet. They were those who attended the Prophet, those who saw the Prophet, were present there at the same time, right? So here, Imam Hussein says, you have taught us the Quran. This is pointing out to that iman upon that Quran that Imam Hussein had. It is this Quran which is taught to Imam Hussein, right? وَعَلَّمْتَنَا بِالْقُرْآنِ. You have taught us. Now, as God have taught them, أَنْتِ عَالِمَةُ بِلَا مُعَلِّمَةٍ. You are a teacher without being taught, O Zainab, salamullah alayha, right? In the bracket I'm saying Zainab, or my aunt, as the fourth Imam says, right? It is this Allamtana bil Quran which make possible for the head of Hussein to recite, Quran on the spear. The head of Hussein was reciting Quran on the spear, right? So Allamtana bil Quran, Imam Hussein is saying that. And the other point is وَوَفَّقْتَنَا فِي الدِّينِ. Tafaqquh fi din is very important. Tafaqquh or fiqh, which comes from the same root, and wawaffaqtana, which comes from the same root as well. It is pointing out to that you have made us in religion, tafaqquh fi din. You have made us that we are able to have a profound understanding. Tafaqquh means profound understanding, to have that deep understanding of deen. What deen really means. Deen doesn't mean that when the right is usurped and you just keep quiet if you've been provided with money, as we see in the case of the Ibn Ziyad and the Yazidis, right? Deen is a social affair which like to see the community and the society in harmony with the laws and justice of God. And one is responsible to basically work in that direction to bring harmony, to bring peace, to bring tranquility, to bring justice in the society. That is why Imam Hussein says that, Islah, my qiyam is for reform in the ummah of my grandfather. My qiyam is to enjoin good. It's for amar bil maruf, for nahi anil munkar. That is the reason I'm doing qiyam for, right? So therefore, deen means that you do not just, put your head down and carry on what you're doing in terms of the ibadat. It is the question of bringing reform. Now to bring reform, right, it requires tafaqquh. It requires a profound understanding of deen. The reform will not come, I want to have reform. Do whatever one wants to do. No, it is with profound understanding of deen. If you look at the fuqaha of ours, the maraji of ours, how profound understanding they have of Quran, of hadith, of history, and the implication of the time and space in regards to extracting the ahkam, and they are able to really provide with that deeper understanding of deen by which the society is governed, by which the society functions in harmony with other religions that are existing, with other communities, with other societies, with utmost respect to different communities. That is tafaqquh. One should really say that, oh, this is Deen-e-Islam. This is the maktab of tashayyu. This is how they are when it comes to humanity, when it comes to social affair, when it comes to helping the needy, right? That is tafaqquh fi deen. That's what is required. That one must have that deep understanding of the deen and must really act upon it. And by acting upon it, show the other communities that the followers of Ahl Bayt are like this. The followers of Ahl Bayt are those who would like to, have, security, respect, honor, dignity for others, for neighbors, for everybody. That's how Imam Hussain was. That's the teaching of Imam Hussain, right? So tafaqquh fi deen. Deen doesn't mean that, it is only where a person kind of 24/7 be on the prayer mat, or for example when it comes to practicing Islam, one is very very harsh or very dry in terms of the practices. Doing Amar bil Maruf, that means if I see someone, I quickly go and attack him, I quickly disrespect him, or I become judgmental about my fellow mu'mineen or fellow friends. No. Tafaqquh, how to do Amar bil Maruf. What is the way of doing Amar bil Maruf, right? Understanding it, how the Imams and Masumeen have done Amar bil Maruf. When we look at the life of the ulama, when we look at the life of the Imams, they have clearly pointed out to the positive or the rightful way of doing Amar bil Maruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. So tafaqquh in deen is very important. Having a profound understanding of deen is very important. We don't understand deen and we give fatwas. We don't know anything. No, I don't think it's like that. We just give fatwa. Do I really have that profound understanding of it? Without understanding, everyone is a mujtahid, everyone is a marja, everyone has their opinion. One should really be God-wary, God-conscious. One must be wary of the Quran, of the teachings of Ahl Bayt, then speak about deen. How much knowledge do I have to really speak about it? Great scholars, when they write their books, they are so cautious in giving passing verdicts or even expressing their opinion. In the field of mysticism or philosophy, even they went and they said, perhaps it seems to be like that, perhaps it's like this, perhaps it's like that. They use these words, in order to really provide that room. But here we say, no, this is it, take it or leave it, and this is what Islam is. Which Islam says that it, where are they really getting this from? Tafaqquh fi deen is that profound understanding of deen, understanding the falsafa behind it, understanding the spirituality and the reasons behind it. Then here he points out to very important aspect, which is to our topic here, which we are talking about, the reflections of faith in the plain of Ashura, right? Here he says, Amma ba'd, now he begins. So first he has talked about, praised Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, praised, thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the Nabuwa, and then after that about the Quran, and finally about Deen, Tafaqqa fi Deen. Amma ba'd fa inni, certainly he says that, I don't know, la a'lam, ashaban awfa, who is with such great loyalty, who have done this wafa, the best of companions, the best of companions that I have ever seen in entire sort of, in my family, with my father, or as saying, for example, for my father or for my grandfather, these are great companions who have stayed there with Imam Hussain alayhi salam, who came with Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Only that Imam Hussain alayhi salam is their Imam, only that Imam Hussain alayhi salam, is the grandson of the Prophet. They joined Imam Hussain alayhi salam. They stood steadfast with Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So he's saying that such a great loyal, ashab and companions, I haven't really seen in my entire Ahl Bayt, right? In my entire Ahl Bayt, I have not seen it. So therefore, God reward you with the khair al jaza. Jazakumullah anni khair al jaza. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you with the best of jaza. And indeed, what a great jaza was rewarded to them. That until today, all in all, they are the focus of all of insaniyat, of all of humanity. Every year, the way we mention the ashab of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, we don't mention the ashab of other imams. We don't mention the ashab of Rasulullah this way, the way we remember the ashab of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. What an honor indeed. None of the community remember the ashab of any of the imams or prophet the way the ashab of Imam Hussain alayhi salam is remembered. What an honor. Where the Prophet says, the fifth Imam is mentioning, while he's saying, my father said, and the Prophet, that he mentions to Imam Hussain, soon you will be, journeyed towards Karbala, and in that place you will camp, and when you will camp, you will have your companions. And what sort of companions? The companions are those who would not have the effect of iron when it cuts them. What an honor. It is very similar to that where Amirul Mu'mineen in Sajda and the arrow is pulled and Amirul Mu'mineen had no feeling. Look at the companion. What a great jaza. What a great honor. What a great iman that they have reflected in the plain of Karbala. We'll be right back after this short break.